Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land on which we meet today, the Kulin Nation, and recognise their continuing connections to land, waters and community. We pay our respects to them and their cultures, and to elders past, present and emerging. And we extend our respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who may be present today. Hi, my name's Adam.
Hi, I'm Tony.
Hi, I am Tarun.
And I'm Farah.
And my name is Rupendra.
And we are Sunny Side of the Street. Hi, welcome. Today we are looking at the issues or potential issues of overshadowing, in particular the overshadowing of the public realms in the east-west axis of Footscray, Melbourne. Footscray is a suburb of Melbourne and it's part of the Maribyrnong Council, and it's actually experiencing a continuing and significant population growth, as we can see from these figures. And as stated in the structure plan, an intensification of the built environment is required to cater for this growing population, and this is going to require more housing, more public amenities and other public infrastructure. We reviewed the structure plan as a group, and looking through this through the lens of sort of overshadowing and access to sun, we had concerns about the lack of rules that address this issue of overshadowing, particularly in the public realm. And as this is a pedestrian amenity, we felt that it was sort of critical to address this issue for several reasons. But the sun is important, and as you can see, sunlight has many health benefits, such as fighting seasonal affective disorder, improving brain function, improving sleep quality, and it also fights vitamin D deficiency, of which up to 80% of people in Australia are deficient, which Marcus has said to direct quote him on that. The sun is great and it's vital, and it's not just us who think this. We actually interviewed some random people in the street to get their viewpoint, and here's what they had to say.
I love sun. It's great.
Sunlight activates the public realm, and people will seek out the sun in winter for walking, for bike riding and other activities, and that's really what activates a ground plane in winter. Having access to sun and sunlight is really vital for this public realm, and that's why we believe it should be addressed in structure plans at the public realm level, and not just in relation to parks and public spaces. So the structure plan actually calls for an active ground plane in almost all stages of the planning, yet it does not address the issue or potential issue of overshadowing in its public realm in winter at all. So this is a model of the maximum built envelope according to the council and structure plan guidelines, and moving through at June 22nd, 12 PM, the winter solstice, you can see that the majority of the public realm is in shadow, which is not ideal. So how do we solve this? Well, we did some initial testing with some different typologies to see how the overshadowing could be improved. And as you can see, these came back with some mixed results. There was some improvement, but not enough that we wanted. Further from the initial testing, we carried out a direct sunlight analysis. So this is identifying how many hours the sun would access the street between the hours of 9 AM and 3 PM on the winter solstice. So in this stage of testing, we tested the slim tower and podium typology, and as we can see, the results that came back were limited in their effectiveness. This took us to the next stage, which was to use the sun's altitude and taken from the street edge, and creating a bit of a sliding scale of building heights depending on the block width. And as we can see, these results from the different angles produce far more consistent and better results. So this led us to the conclusion that an angle-based building height restriction would ensure that the public realm had access to winter sun. This also provides relatively generous building heights towards the back of blocks, while keeping the street interface at a fine grain level. So we took this study a little further just to test the summer conditions, and we found that by allowing the buildings to cantilever onto the street by a maximum of 3 metres, this actually provided a strong protection against the summer sun. So we can see the dimensions of our 24-degree result, which we feel was the best tested solution. While the 18-degree result provided the most access to sunlight, the 24-degree option had a better balance of massing to sunlight ratio, we felt. This is what the final render of what it would look like implemented. Thanks for watching our presentation. We hope we have provided some inspiration in how to provide access to the sun in the winter. And on behalf of the whole group, thank you.